Hey there. Welcome to LSAT Demon Daily. I'm Ben Olson. That's Nathan Fox. Together, we're the founders of LSATdemon.com and our weekly podcast, Thinking LSAT. Today, we have an email from Jonathan.
Says, hello, Ben and Nathan. As a DACA recipient and hypothetically speaking, if I am able to get a great LSAT score, will I even be able to get a full ride scholarship due to my status? For some context, I already have my undergrad degree and have been working with LSAT Demon Basic for about a month now. I plan on applying for this next cycle, hopefully getting accepted to start law school in fall of 2023. I should have probably got an answer to this question a lot sooner, but I would love to get through law school without having to pay a dime, as you both advise. Thank you both for your help. Both of your approaches on the podcast made LSAT Demon feel much more personal than another prep company, which is why I chose to stick with you all. Best regards, Jonathan. You know much about DACA? DACA stands for Deferred Action for Childhood Arrivals. It's a policy that protects around 800,000 young people, known as dreamers, who enter the United States unlawfully as children. At least that's a definition of it that I got from the internet. So we know it must be 100% impervious from any kind of critique.
Yes, that is the truth right there. Well, I don't know a lot about DACA, but I mean, you got through undergrad. I don't see how scholarship money would be tied to that status. I could see how maybe federal loans might be or something like that. Again, I have no idea, and presumably they're not, but it's hard for me to see how scholarships, which are really just discounts, right? You're just not paying as much as someone else, would be tied to that status. The thing though here is just to pick up the phone and call the school. It's an easy question. It's a 5-minute conversation, and you will probably learn way more than you will emailing all sorts of people or Googling.
Keep in mind that you're going to be talking to basically a salesperson who may or may not give you advice that is like actually in your best interest. We've talked about this a lot on the show before, both of our podcasts before, but you know, the admissions folk, their interests are really not aligned with yours. They want you to apply to their school today.
Yeah.
And you know, they're gonna, it's just like a car salesperson. I'm not judging, but I'm saying that the car salesperson, you know, their job is not to help you find the perfect value for you. Their job is to get you to buy one of their cars.
Yeah.
As soon as possible.
Yep.
And that's how these admissions people operate. You're calling the sales department of the school when you call the admissions office.
They're like, let me transfer you to sales. Okay, great.
No, it is.
How can I help you? Yep. How can I?
It is the sales department. And so they wear the clothes of, you know, a consultant who is here to help applicants. And the message that they're going to try to give you is, you know, we want you to be the best, very best applicant you can be. And it's like, oh, really? Yeah. That's just like, you want me to be the very best car buyer I can be, which is the person who buys a car today. Like that's ultimately what they want. So I don't know. I mean, I 100% agree. Call. Maybe not just the admissions offices though, right? Like I feel like you might be able to get in touch with alums somehow who have this DACA status.
Sure. You could call the school and ask for, hey, I'd love to talk to someone who is a DACA recipient and a graduate of your school or currently there.
Yeah.
Here's the thing about calling, right? And I want people to develop this muscle to just pick up the phone and call.
Yeah,
and
I agree.
Let me just tell a quick aside here. This weekend, right? I went to visit one of my best friends from high school, and we went down to southern Utah to Arches National Park.
Nice.
And on the way there, this is my total fuck up, but on the way there, we're like an hour away. We've been driving for 2.5 hours and down from Salt Lake. And I'm like, oh, wait, this park requires a permit. So I knew some other places required a permit, but we didn't get those. We didn't win those lotteries. So we were just operating under the assumption that Arches didn't require a permit.
Oh
And
no.
I was like, oh geez, like what we're gonna come all this way and then kind of like hang out in Moab, which is the town just outside of Arches.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's still the place is extraordinarily beautiful. Even the highway drive is like amazing.
Yeah.
But anyways, we get down there and we're like, okay, well, hey, there's a tourist place. So we go into the tourist place and we're talking to the lady at the front desk and we're telling her our situation and she's just like, oh yeah, well, you could go after 5 p.m. They don't require permits after 5. And it's like 3 o'clock in the afternoon. And we're like, what? Like I was scouring the internet. I was gonna buy a camping permit and try to get in through that, but the campsite was just outside of Moab and the one outside of Arches and the one in Arches was sold out. And I don't know, we were just trying all these things. And then, they just kept spilling information. Like not even they're not even answering questions that we were asking. We're talking about one thing and someone mentioned something about something that's going on over here and you're like, "Wait, tell me more about that." And it's just like bam, bam, bam. And the weekend turned out to be great. We went and saw it and we went in. We timed right when you should get into the line. There's a long line, these days for all these things. Right when we could get in and still get to the gate after 5. And then we went in and there wasn't anybody there. We got a parking spot. Everybody was saying online, oh, you can't find a parking spot. I don't know. It kind of worked out like for the best. But long and short of this is talk to people, right? Like I'm scouring the internet in the car while my friend is driving. And it's like I had all the time in the world to find whatever it is I was looking for. And I didn't find it.
You talked to the right person who actually knew something. Yeah, kids, it is true. Kids these days love to just use the internet and they think that everything is going to be there. But on the internet, you get like outdated information and wrong information and they don't publish all of the secret whatevers.
Yeah.
And so figure out a way to connect yourself to the people who actually know what they're talking about. Jonathan went a nice first step here by talking to us.
Yeah.
But we're also not like, this is not a thing that I know anything about. I mean, I can tell you, I've never heard anybody say that they think that they got discriminated against because of DACA status.
Mm-hmm.
And surely I have worked with dozens or hundreds of DACA folk in my time doing this.
Yeah.
It doesn't stand to reason that they would discriminate against DACA for any reason, right? I mean, if he's asking specifically about scholarships, I don't think that these scholarships are actually funded. I don't think that they're real, right? All they are is the school choosing not to charge you money.
Yeah.
If this was like a pool of money that was coming from some, if it was like coming from, and it might be the case that like Alabama, state of Alabama, whatever, right? I could see funds that are coming from the state of Alabama where they would be like, no, not allowed to use this money on, if you're not a purebred, born and bred American, then you can't use this money. I could see Mississippi or whatever doing that.
Yeah.
But the scholarships are mostly just discounts, as you've said, Ben, sometimes all the way up to and including 100% discount. And they're doing it because they want your LSAT.
Yep.
But they're doing it because they want to raise their medians, because if they raise their medians on their 509 reports, it will raise their ranking in US News. It's a very simple game.
Yeah.
And they're going to lie, or they're not going to like really explain it to you that starkly, but that's what they're doing. They want to raise their medians because they want to raise their ranking in US News. And DACA has nothing to do with that. US News doesn't give a shit about DACA.
Yeah. Here's the thing, though. It's going to be so great, Jonathan, if you decide to call. And if anyone else decides to call, even if you're not a DACA recipient, you got to keep in mind what Nathan said. You're going to be talking to a sales rep who's trying to sell you moldy cheese, right? But you got to realize, too, that as you're talking to them, random things are going to come out that are not necessarily in their interest. And if you're a savvy listener and you call a few schools, I'm sure the exercise will be helpful. Just be careful. Yeah. that you don't get
Be careful
missing.
talking to these people. I
Yeah.
mean, they're professionals.
Yeah.
They're gonna seem super, super friendly. They're gonna be, asking you about your mom and dad and where you're from and your whole story. And they're gonna be giving you all kinds of attention and sympathy. And they're just, they're professional. But I mean, they're also fucking sleaze bags in some cases. Like the the person who ultimately convinced me to go to Hastings, I mean, that was extremely sleazy what they did. This I'll never forget it because that he like looked at me with great concern, and it was like a tisk kind of a, boy, and law school is a transformative experience, and you're not really going to let money be part of your decision, are you? Like, he said it as if he had great concern for me.
Mm.
And, and then once you go to the school, they never fucking talk to you again. They give you like almost no support. The
Yeah.
admissions office, of course, gives you zero support, but even like the career services and everything, they don't give a fuck. You're already there.
Yeah.
You're already paying full freight, and they don't care. And they it's a business. They want your money.
It's a
And
business in a very expensive item, right? It's like anyone's, I mean, even real estate agents, they're selling expensive items, but they're only getting 1.5% of that 6%, right? Commission or whatever. Well, I mean, they're getting 25% of that 6%, but or something like
where are you
that.
getting 25%?
Well, because a lot of real estate agents, right, they're in a firm, and so the firm
Oh,
is getting half, and
I see.
so they're getting like even less than the 3% or their half of the 6%.
Well,
So
real
it's
estate
like,
agents have repeat customers. Real
yeah,
estate agents can't be totally sleazy because they live in the community, and they want also to have they want your business when you just turn around and sell the house 5, 10, 20 years later, or they want your referral to a friend. They at least have some like repeat business. But law schools, I mean, they're selling you a thing that you're only going to buy once.
yeah.
And I don't know. I know good people in admissions.
You
And
know, a good
I
person in admissions. That's cool. That's good. A good person.
I can think of one. Yeah.
I'm messing. Yeah. Okay.
I mean, but yeah, it's, yeah, be careful. Pick up the phone though. Talk to them. Just
Yep.
be on your guard.
Just play the same game, right? Just don't
Yeah.
walk into it and get swept away by their one
Yeah.
line that you hadn't heard before.
Hey, speaking of talking to people, this is probably a good place to shout out our free class coming up on Saturday, May 21st. It's called How to Get a Law Job You Love with Rachel Gezersay. She's an
Mm-hmm.
attorney down in LA. She's also a adjunct professor at USC Law School. And she is the queen of networking. So that's Saturday, May 21st, 10 a.m. Pacific, 1 p.m. Eastern. All you need is a Demon free account. And it's like a how-to network. And yeah, kids these days in today's like hyper-connected online world we know that they're really reluctant to pick up the phone and like actually reach out to people. Um, I don't know that she's going to force you to use the telephone, but she is going to teach you how to send cold emails to attorneys who are practicing in the areas that you might be interested in. And she's a big supporter of the idea that you can actually start your legal job hunt now while you're still studying for the LSAT. You
Yeah.
can get yourself a big leg up on your competitors by networking your way into jobs right away. And come to that class because you'll start learning how to do it. Speaking of career services, in response to this whole thing with Rachel, we got an
Hmm.
email. I don't know if it's on the agenda anywhere, but we got an email from one of our recent LSAT alums who's about to start law school this fall,
Hmm.
and he thought it would be a good idea to reach out to career services and tell them, "Hey, I'm starting your law school this fall, and I just wanted to get a head start on my job searching
Hmm.
for the summer and beyond. And so I was hoping that you could connect me to some alums in my areas of interest. And the career services wouldn't give him an appointment.
Wow. As you were saying that, I was actually thinking to myself, I'm like, I almost wonder if that's an interview question you should give to the schools you're considering.
Can I start using career services right away?
Yeah, say, hey, I'm so looking forward to coming here. I just want to kind of get a jump start on my, careers, my job search. Can you help me out or connect me with someone there? And if that, they transfer you and then the transfer doesn't go well, it's like you're getting transferred to a department that sucks. Maybe that's a reason not to go there.
Yeah,
I don't
that's what
know.
you're gonna get. I
Yeah.
mean, in my experience, career services at Hastings was fucking worthless. It was worthless. It was like,
Yeah.
hey, here's a whole bunch of binders. Look through these
Yeah.
binders of outdated. There's shit in there like from 8 years ago, and it's like, oh yeah, and then you try to reach out to that person, and it's like, oh, they don't work in that area anymore, or oh, they don't participate in this
They
program
burned
anymore,
out.
and it's
They
like,
don't, yeah, they're not interested in
It's-
talking to
what the fuck?
anybody.
I'm like sitting there for hours paging through these binders looking for somebody who's, interested in or who's working in the fields that I'm working in. They
Yeah.
just didn't give a fuck, man. They were there to appear to be assisting,
Hmm.
but it was 100% on the students. They just they weren't. It was a farce. I mean, it was like,
Hmm.
anyway, yeah, be real careful, because of course we have a robust career services department and they have all these programs, and
Fully
plans and
staffed.
whatever. Yeah, fully staffed, and then you like go actually try to make use of the services and you just get fucking stymied. It's not
Wow.
surprising. Anyway, it's on you, right? I mean, it's on us. It's on our students.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody gives a fuck about you. You have to make it happen.
You have to make it happen. And one way to start figuring out how to make it happen is to come to this
Yes.
session with Rachel Gezersay. You just need a Demon Free account. The sign up is lsat.link/Rachel. Again, lsat.link/Rachel. I'm learning stuff from Rachel all the time. And so I would be shocked if you did not go there and learn a lot about what you can do. Here's one thing to keep in mind. One reason that older folks do better in the job market is not just because they have more experience. Yeah, that's helpful. But a lot of it also just comes from their network. They need to do something. They know somebody. When you're younger, you just have a smaller network. Learn how to build it. Anyways, anything else for Jonathan?
Nope. Wrap it up.
Okay. Email daily@lsatdemon.com if you'd like to ask us a question or share some LSAT or law school admissions news. Thanks for listening.